Part 5 of Beyond Good and Evil begins with section 186, in which Nietzsche describes his project and contrasts it with the projects of past moral philosophers. Nietzsche will, he says, produce a descriptive typology of morals. Past philosophers have attempted something quite different. They have tried to find a rational foundation for morals. This quest for a rational foundation took the existence of morality and moral obligation for granted. Thus, the moral philosophers of the past ignored the descriptive task as trivial and unimportant. On the contrary, writes Nietzsche, constructing a typology of morals requires the greatest subtlety. Note that here Nietzsche contrasts his subtle psychological observation with the clumsy moralizing that has passed for philosophy up to now. The problem with past moral philosophy, writes Nietzsche, is that it has not yet confronted the real problems of morality. Because they ignored the descriptive task in favor of inquiry into rational foundations, these philosophers' knowledge of morals was only approximate and arbitrary. They did not study the moralities of different peoples and past ages. The real problems of morality can only be seen by a comparison of many different moralities. Past scholars' claimed rational foundations of morals are nothing more than disguised faith in the dominant moral code of their place and time. Think especially of Kant in this regard. Thus, these philosophers assume that there is and can be no real problem with morality as such. Nietzsche's task, by contrast, is the analysis, examination, and vivisection, or live dissection, of this faith in moral obligation. He concludes this section with an example. Schopenhauer, the famous pessimist, talks like a child or a pious old woman when he says that hurt no one is a universal moral precept. Nietzsche replies, "Whoever has once felt deeply how insipidly false and sentimental this principle is in a world whose essence is will to power, should recall that Schopenhauer, for all his claimed pessimism, played the flute every day after dinner." Nietzsche here suggests that although Schopenhauer repudiates belief in God, he is not willing to abandon belief in a universal do-no-harm morality. Is he really a pessimist, then? Asks Nietzsche. Note that in attacking Schopenhauer as a sentimentalist, Nietzsche appeals to his readers' deep feeling that the no-harm principle is ridiculous and false, since the world is run by will to power. He does not appeal to a rational principle so much as to the shared intuition of how things are. He appeals to a prior acceptance of the reality of will to power in order to dismiss Schopenhauer. Where does this acceptance come from? Why should we, as Nietzsche's readers, share it? What is its foundation? These are questions we should keep in mind as we continue to read the work. That's my summary of and commentary on section 186 of Beyond Good and Evil. Thanks for watching today. Goodbye.